I'm going to go over the webinar funnel. And again, how most funnels start, traffic. So this could be LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, wherever your traffic comes from, ads, comes into webinar form. So a webinar form is most likely going to be just a landing page. A landing page what explains what's in the webinar. Hopefully a high converting landing page if you're making it properly. What you do, you click the email and the name. You don't have to click the name, but depending on the circumstance, you clicked definitely the email. And if it makes sense for your niche, you can also collect SMS. So this could be people in real estate, just niches that deal with SMS or numbers a lot. It would make sense rather than just email. But again, if you try to collect SMS for every niche, it could stop people from opting in, so the opt-in rates will be much less. So you want to make sure you actually do the market research, checking if you actually need it and if it's actually worth it and will be more profitable. What happens after they opt in? They get a confirmation email. So this is just so they know they're in. They get the Zoom link or Google meeting link, whatever the webinar is going to be hosted, and they also get reminded of a date. So it's going to go to the inbox. They confirm they're in. It's just so they know they're actually being accepted. Then they're sent reminders. So this is I wouldn't send reminders like every day for 10 days as long as the webinar is going. I would send reminders 5 days before, then 2 days before, and then 24 hours, and then an hour before. So there's around four reminders, and of course at the time you're going to send them the webinar invite. You want to, in the reminders, you want touch points. So what touch points are? Touch points are things that kind of nurture people to like you more, like your offer more, just be more educated on your offer rather than just sending them reminders with nothing inside of it. So touch points could be as simple as just sending them a brief explanation of what's going to be in a webinar. So you could even send them a 2-minute YouTube video of you doing a trailer to the webinar. So what that does, it actually gets them to do an action. That makes it high chance of them joining the webinar, being more nurtured, liking you more, and hence that all adds up to them buying your offer. And you can see I put another one. So again, another reminder email. What you can do, you can send a form. So this form could be, if you fill out this form survey, just so I know exactly what you guys want to hear in a webinar, any questions you have, so I can answer them at the end. Again, it's of their benefit, but it nurtures them more because it makes them take an action rather than sending a simple reminder. What this does, actually, the more actions they take, it's easier for them to take the next action. So I could put here, build excitement and break down what to come. So yeah, you're just nurture them to join the webinar. You're building the excitement, what's going to be in there. So instead of them just getting a webinar, reminders with nothing in it, and they forget about it and they don't join it, they're actually they're thinking about it now and they're actually waiting for it. And that's the thing what a lot of people miss out in the reminders, the touch points. So that's one of the key aspects that we use in our webinar funnels. It does make a big difference. So now, after all the reminders, they send the actual webinar invite. So to join the webinar. The webinar is now finished. At the end of the webinar, at least, you want to sell. So you want to verbally sell. You want to tell them. You might have a slide in your webinar about your offer, and you want to sell there. You want to put the link to your Calendly in the Zoom chat or Google chat, wherever you are. Or you want to put your products in the group chat. Whatever you're selling, just put that in the chat and sell in the webinar, because if you're not, you're missing out on good people are right in front of you. It's kind of like a half sales call, even though they're not with you, they're in the group at least, but they're still in the call with you. After this, you want to send them a sequence. So this can be SMS or email. Again, it depends on the funnel and the niche. For most people, I would say 90% of you here, it will be email. You want to send them an email, educate them on your offer, essentially just selling your offer. So I put ... here to show the sequence can go for 7 days. Whether you got a flash sale or limited slots, introduce that in your sequence and just sell the offer. You don't want to you always want someone to sell when you're having a webinar, right? Or then you're just going to be wasting hours of your time to host this webinar just for nothing to give them on the back end. And a lot of times, some people join to get educated on offer, so they can get a deep dive in your offer because they want to buy. So yeah, fill in that void for people, answer some questions, and send them a sequence after for the people that don't buy on call. And again, the sequence will be automatic. You write it before, send it out, schedule it, send automatic, so you get automatic buys after this. And one thing I didn't add here is I would also add an email. Let's actually add it right here. Add to newsletter. So what this essentially means is add them to your email list, add them to your newsletter, send the email telling them that they're going to be added to the newsletter and they can unsubscribe. So it feels like they have that choice, and that you don't want to make them feel like you got an email, you're going to do whatever you want with it, because then the KOT, like trust points will go down. So that's the traditional webinar funnel.